This secret sauce ad spent $4 million. This is gonna be the hook of the video. So let's see it. Then I'm gonna have you actually, as a homework, tell me your ideas of why you think this works, and then I'm gonna give you my breakdown.
My dad used to come home drunk every day and hit me. My mom had passed away from giving birth to me, and my dad hated me for it. By the time I was 16, I ran away from home and had to work 3 different jobs to pay rent and feed myself. Life was tough, but it was better than being beaten by my dad every day. One day I saw an old man begging on the streets for food. Although I barely had enough for myself, I decided to treat the old man to a meal. He thanked me and told me that my kindness would one day be rewarded. He also told me that he used to be a rich man until he did something really bad, and becoming a beggar today was his karma. Walking home that day, I was happy as it felt good to help someone in need. The next day, I received a mysterious package with an odd-looking bracelet in it. There was a note in the package that said, "Thank you for your kindness. Wear this for good luck." As I put on the odd-looking bracelet, a strange electrical sensation shot through my body. I couldn't explain the exact feeling of it, but I felt positive and powerful. It also looked good on me, so I decided to wear it and see what happens. Just a few days later, my boss at work saw potential in me and promoted me. Several months later, I was once again promoted for my good performance, and I'm now paid well enough to buy a house in the neighborhood for myself. It has always been my dream to travel, and I was finally able to travel around the world in business class flights and 5-star hotel suites. While touring Vietnam, I lost the odd-looking bracelet accidentally, and things began to change after that. I received a call that the company I worked for had to close down, and I was now unemployed. Just several days later, I also lost most of my money when my bank account was hacked. In just 1 week, I went from living the life of my dreams to a nightmare. All of these misfortunes sank me into a deep state of depression. I began to drink every day like my dad and just waste life away. Just as all hope seemed to be lost, one of my ex-colleagues called me and told me she's now doing better than ever. She excitedly told me that she had gotten the bracelet that I had and that things had gotten better for her ever since. At that moment, remembering about the bracelet that I lost, I began to have hope again. I thanked her for reminding me about it and told her I lost it and asked her how she got it. She recommended me to an online store, and I quickly bought several of them. While browsing online, I learned that the bracelet is based on the ancient Chinese act of Feng Shui. According to Wikipedia, Feng Shui is a pseudoscience originating from China. It claims to use energy forces to harmonize individuals with their surrounding environment. The art of Feng Shui is used to optimize abundance and prosperity of every kind: wealth, health, relationships, and career success. I learned that many famous people and companies in the world use Feng Shui too. My order arrived in several days, and I excitedly put them on. It must have been weird to behave that way, but during that time, I was desperate. Sure enough, through some unexplainable energy forces, I found opportunity in my life again. An old friend of mine from school approached me to start a business together, and our business took off in just weeks. Life was good again for me, and this time I even found a boyfriend that treated me like a princess. The bracelet that I had is the Feng Shui Black Obsidian bracelet. Each bracelet is carefully handmade and had to go through rituals that bless the bracelet with good energy. By combining the lucky Asian beast Pixiu with the natural stone Black Obsidian, it enhances the flow of positive energy greatly, especially in the area of wealth. The Pixiu element helps to attract, while the Black Obsidian is responsible for the keeping and safeguarding. I will now teach you how to wear it properly. First, you need to wear the bracelet on your dominant hand, the hand you use to write. You also need to make sure that the head of the Pixiu is outward so as to draw energy from all directions. Before and wearing it, you also need to remember to touch it frequently. This is to let it know that you are the master and it should assist you. Do not allow others to touch it. If someone else does touch it, cleanse it with water. Do not wear it while bathing, as it is incompatible with the dirty things. Besides the points mentioned, all you need to do is wear it and let it do its magic. Besides me, the bracelet has been the saving grace for so many people. One shared how it stopped the illness that has been bothering her since a baby. Another finally got the job promotion that he always wanted. Another man told how he overcame depression and regained his self-confidence. I just wish that someone had told me about this sooner. I could have used it to escape my abusive home earlier and enjoy the better things in life. Just by wearing the bracelet, I correct my imbalances of energy and start to enjoy life when everything just goes my way. It can all be achieved by wearing a simple Feng Shui bracelet, and it can work for you too. You have nothing to lose except all of your bad energy, bad luck, and misfortunes. Click on the Shop Now button to get yours and experience a more abundant life today.
So first two lines are pretty big. My dad used to come home drunk every day and hit me. My mom had passed away from giving birth to me, and my dad hated me for it. Imagine a friend is telling you this, or even a stranger is telling you this. What emotion do you feel when you hear this? Or what do you think?
I mean, pity, to be honest. Like the spawn point of life is just completely fucked for her.
Yeah, pity, sadness, some sort of empathy, some sort of compassion, you know? And it's the same principle as the car crash on the roadside. Everybody stops to see the car crash, right? So it's opening with the most shocking thing. Right now, if you run this on YouTube, you get banned. But there's probably some opportunity to run this script again with a higher AOV funnel, even now, if you are unethical enough to run this. But it's still probably sellable. So first of all the emotions: empathy, compassion, pity, sadness, anger. Second of all, it's relatable, because Dan Kennedy calls these like dog whistles. Like, if your father hit you, if your father was a drinker, or if your friend's father was, now you have this affinity point, affinity connection, which creates more trust. Also, it's creating a filter of vulnerability. If she's open enough to share this, it means to some degree that I can trust her, because she's saying something that is uncomfortable to say, right? And so it increases the underlying level of trust that I have in this person. And then when she says, by the time I was 16, we see her on screen. So she's good looking, she's dressed well, and she has a nice house in the background. So it's instantly creating this cognitive dissonance of, okay, so this person had the worst childhood ever, and now she's good looking, and it seems like she has money, and it seems like she's happy, comfortable, whatever, right? And so it creates the open loop of, okay, how did she do it? And then it's creating hope, because if she passed through the nightmare, if she went through the valley of the shadow and came up it doesn't matter what happened to me, because her experience is probably worse than the experience of the majority of people watching, which implies whatever situation I find myself in as the viewer, as a prospect, there is hope that I can fix it through whatever she's going to tell me. Because that is why, for example, marketers in ads use testimonials of people who had like near-death experience, or like had the worst illness condition ever, and they solved it, because it is a proof element of, okay, if this person who had it worse than me solved the problem, then it is hope that I can solve it too. Okay. So it's then stacking other affinity bridges. I work 3 different jobs to pay rent. This is something that is relatable for many people, you know, living in misery. Life was tough, but it was better than being beaten by my dad every day. Again, this is the blow, the punchline. There is Jacopo Testini. Turn off the audio. Okay. So this is the setup. So now you have all these emotions: anger, empathy, compassion, She's shown vulnerability, so you kind of trust her, and etc. etc. Now, one day, so this was the normal situation. It's the if you search for Hero's Journey, it's the ordinary world. So now in the process, why is it not fucking opening? Open image on a new tab. Good. So now we are here. So we are in the known world. The known world can be a positive situation, can be a negative situation, but like this is the setup. And now she's gonna meet the threshold guardian, so the helper, the thing that switches on and starts the journey through the unknown, and then a bunch of challenges, and then it goes back to the new normal, which is going to be the amazing life that she has now created. So one day I saw an old man begging on the street for food. Although I barely had enough for myself, I decided to treat the old man to a meal. So what it is implying, it's showing that this person is kind and generous. And so you trust her more. You have more sympathy towards her. He thanked me and told me that my kindness will one day be rewarded. He also told me that he used to be a rich man until he did something really bad, and becoming a beggar today was his karma. So this is playing into an existing belief. So this is all about like knowing what your audience believes in and confirming their reality, confirming their worldview and the model of the world. Most people believe in some sort of karma, some sort of energies, influencing their own life. And this is confirming, okay, karma is real. There was a rich man, he did something bad, and now he's poor. So it's implying that idea, and it's confirming the worldview of people watching who believe in some sort of energy and karma. Walking on the day, I was happy as it felt good to help somebody in need. This is, again, to show her the fact that she's human, she's like you. It's a relatable thing. You probably can recall sometimes in your past where you gave a tip to the waitress, or where you did some sort of positive thing, or even you gave money to a homeless people knocking on your car window at the stop sign, and then you felt good. And so you're like, oh, this person is like me, And then there is the gift of the goddess. The next day I received a mysterious package with an odd-looking bracelet in it. There was a note in the package that said, "Thank you for your kindness. Wear this for good luck." Now, there is this mysterious package. So it's, again, playing inside into the idea of mysterious forces. It's adding this layer of curiosity. We don't know what it is. The bracelet itself, it's actually not shown in the video until later on. So we don't know what the package looks like. Wear this for good luck. Again, playing into the idea that there is some sort of positive energies and negative energies. And this one thing has positive energies. And it also playing into the idea that, again, go on. As I put on the odd-looking bracelet, a strange electrical sensation shot through my body. This is, a curiosity element, and it's reinforcing the idea that this is magical, this is mysterious, this has some sort of power, okay? I couldn't explain the exact feeling of it. It's addressing skepticism. It's addressing the fact that it's weird, it's mysterious, but it felt positive and powerful. It also looked good on me, which is a benefit of the product itself. So I decided to wear it and see what happens. So you see how she's implying that she was skeptical about it. And so she's taking on the responsibility of feeling the skepticism. So the viewer at this point has part of him or her which is skeptical about the thing. Part of him believes there is some sort of energy, and energies are true. That's why they keep watching. But part of them are skeptical. But if the protagonist of the story is skeptical themselves, it's taking the responsibility of the skepticism, and so you don't feel that you have to be skeptical about it. Just a few days later, my boss at work saw potential in me and promoted me. So Think about the Alex Hormozi equation: outcome, likelihood of achievement. You want to increase those, and you want to decrease time and effort and sacrifice. So a few days later, so the outcome is immediate. My boss at work saw potential in me and promoted me. It implies zero effort on her part to get the outcome of earning more money. Several months later, I was once again promoted for my good performance, and I'm now paid well enough to buy a house in the neighborhood for myself. So this is probably the most relatable outcome that, middle-class America can dream of, buying the house. It is the American dream. So it's a relatable outcome shared by the audience. It has always been my dream to travel, and I was finally able to travel around the world in business class flights and 5-star hotel suites while touring via 5-star hotel suites. It's not saying I travel. I always wanted to travel to Thailand or to Brazil. It's vague enough where you can, the viewer, first of all, the idea of wanting to travel the world is shared by everybody. So again, it's playing into a shared outcome that people dream of. And it's vague enough that you can fill in with your own imagination where exactly you would like to travel the world. And also notice everything is in the form of a story. It's not saying you. The word you is probably like used only at the end, like only 17 times. Yeah, after you introduce the product. Look how there is no you up until the very end where they introduce the product. The pixie element helps you attract blah, blah, blah. And then while touring Vietnam, so now we have proven that this has some sort of magical element that gives you all the outcomes, all the benefits that you want. While touring Vietnam, I lost the odd-looking bracelet accidentally, and things began to change after that. I received a call from the company that I worked for had to close down, and I was now unemployed. Just several days later, I also lost money, most of my money, when my bank account was hacked. So in just 1 week, I went from living the life of my dreams to a nightmare. So this is reinforcing the idea that all those good things happened because of the bracelet, right? So it's an added element of proof that the bracelet is the one thing responsible for everything. And it's also reinforcing the idea that there is some positive energy and some negative energy working in the world and influencing your life, and that it's not your fault. So this is actually implying that all your problems are not your fault. And as you can see here, the company closed down and I was now employed. Somebody hacked the bank account and I had no money now. So if you have kind of the same problem, like you have no money, unemployed, or in a job that doesn't pay you enough, it's implying it doesn't matter what you do. Despite putting your best effort, you're living in this nightmare scenario because you have some sort of bad karma. And if you just fix this one thing, and I'm going to then read you something from a Dan Kennedy course about the one thing principle. If you fix this one thing, then everything is going to get fixed. Let me admit, no, there is Cooper's Fathom recording. I'm not going to admit Cooper's Fathom recording. So, gay.
Why?
Just because I can. There is no explanation.
Thank you.
Okay. I went from living the life of my dreams to a nightmare. All of those misfortunes, notice, so it's not your fault. It is some bigger energy, bigger power playing and influencing your life. Sunk me into a deep state of depression. I began to drink every day like my dad and just waste life away. So what is he doing? Relating dog whistles. If you've been depressed or you know people who are depressed, you can relate. If your father was a drinker, alcoholic, you can relate, right? And it's so vague, just waste my life away. It is such a relatable terms that you heard. Maybe some people told you, maybe you heard it, that it speaks to the broadest amount of people, right? And then just as all hope seemed to be lost, by the way, this if you follow the hero's journey, so we meet the mentor and then we had the helper, which is the bracelet, and then we had the most positive experience, and then she lost everything, and now we're in the abyss, death and rebirth. Okay. One of my ex-colleagues called me and told me she's now doing better than ever. She's excitedly told me that she had gotten a bracelet that I had, and that things had gotten better for her ever since. So what is this implying? Social proof. It's not because I'm special that I got all of these positive outcomes and dream scenarios and benefits. Also, my friend had the same thing, and it's all because of the bracelet. It's all because of the one thing. At the moment, remembering about the bracelet that I lost, I began to have hope again. It's selling the idea of hope. It doesn't matter where you are. This thing fixes everything. I thanked her for reminding me about it and told her I lost it and asked her how she got it. She sent me to an online store and quickly bought several of them. This is the AOV clothes. You can already imagine they're not selling one bracelet. They're probably selling packages of bracelets. While browsing online, and then he goes into the mechanism. Why does this thing work, right? Which is the underlying open loop of the whole equation. I learned that the bracelet is based on the ancient Chinese art of Feng Shui. Again, this is playing on existing belief that, you know, Chinese people, there is some sort of mysterious energy. You know, in the mind of the average American, Chinese people have some sort of thing that goes against conventional wisdom that works, right? According to Wikipedia, Feng Shui is a pseudoscience originating from China. So it's mentioning an authority, a source, authoritative source that adds proof to it. Also, they openly say it's a pseudoscience, so it's not even a science, but people don't matter. It claims to use energy forces to harmonize individuals with their surrounding environment. So this is the mechanism, the unique mechanism here. The art of Feng Shui is to optimize abundance and prosperity of every kind, wealth, health, relationship. So this is like the one thing that fixes every area of life. And then it's stacking proof to the claim that this fixes everything. I learned that many famous people and companies in the world use Feng Shui too. And then what happens when I order it again? My order arrived in several days, and I excitedly put them on. It must have been weird to behave that way, but during the time I was desperate. Again, it's addressing the skepticism. It's openly admitting, yeah, I mean, it may feel weird that I actually believe this thing, but I was desperate. And so if the viewer is desperate enough, she's going to buy into this frame and then accept everything else. Sure enough, through some unexplainable energy forces, so it's all about the energy, right? Tapping into the forces that people believe that they're operating on the universe. I found opportunity in my life again. And notice how, again, it's broad enough, the word opportunity, where you can imagine and fill in the blank with everything that you wish you want. An old friend of mine from school approached me to start a business together, and our business took off in just weeks. This is, again, a very relatable scenario. Probably happens to a vast amount of people, like old friends proposing business ideas. Life was good again. And this time, I even found a boyfriend that treated me like a princess. This is basically the dream of every woman. And notice how it never goes into the specifics. It's just so vague that you can fill in the blank with whatever you want. The bracelet that I had, and now it goes into the clothes. The clothes in any VSL is, since they introduced the product, that is the start of the clothes. And then it goes into the features. Each bracelet is carefully handmade and had to go through rituals that bless the bracelet with good energy. By combining the lucky Asian beast, Pixie, with the natural stone black obsidian, it enhances the flow of positive energy greatly, especially in the area of wealth. So this is the main feature. The features are just a mean to justify the price, basically. If you ask a man who just bought a supercar, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, is going to say, why did you buy this? Well, you know, 900 horsepower, four-wheel traction, cool-looking thing. But if you actually go to the real reason behind that, the reason why men buy a car especially in their midlife crisis, it's because that gets them bragging right with their friends, or that may allow them to relive their childhood dream of like driving a nice car. It gives them status. It gives them the opportunity to feel better about other people, and like a flexing element over their friends. So the features are all just to justify the price. Like nobody cares about the feature, but you have to say them. And the more specific you are with the feature, the more then it increases because the features are the proof that this works. Pixie element helps you attract, while the Black Obsidian is responsible for keeping and safeguarding. I will now teach you how to wear it properly. And now it gives like 3 bullshit requirements, rules. First, you need to wear the bracelet on dominant hand, the hand used to write. Make sure that the head of the pixie is outward, so you draw energy from all direction. Remember to touch frequently. This to let you know that you are the master and should assist you. Do not allow others to touch it. If someone else does touch it, cleanse it with water. Do not wear it while bathing, as it is compatible with the dirty things. So all these rules are pointless, but they are meant to justify the outcome. And if you buy into the rules, then you buy into the magical element of the thing. And if you put rules and requirements, justify the proof, and it increases the credibility of the thing, right? Beside the points mentioned, all you need to do, notice the word all you need to do. So the one thing that fixes all the problem is wear it and let it do its magic. So this is how to use it. So it's a classic VSL structure. In the clause, you introduce the product, features, bullshit rules, how to use it, and then social proof. Beside me, the bracelet has been the saving grace for so many people. Notice saving grace. One shared how it stopped the illness that has been bothering her since a baby. So it's so powerful that fixes even the worst possible scenarios. Another finally got the job promotion that he always wanted. So it's playing on the health benefits, the wealth benefits, and then the relationship benefits. Another man told me how he overcame depression and regained his self-confidence. I wish that someone had told me about this sooner. I could have used it to escape my abusive home earlier and enjoy the better things in life. Okay, so now it's connecting back to the beginning. Just by wearing the bracelet, I correct my imbalance of energy and start to enjoy life. It can all be achieved by wearing a simple Feng Shui bracelet, and it can work for you too. So it plays into the idea of the one thing that fixes everything. And the line, it can work for you too, is very powerful because it removes all the disqualification. It doesn't matter how big the benefits are, how much social proof you embed into it. Some people are going to always try to disqualify themselves, giving to themselves reason like, oh, I'm too old, oh, I tried too many things and they failed. Maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe I have this genetic condition and it's not going to work for me. Maybe I am not diligent enough to actually follow the step to do it. And this sentence is removing and is helping them not disqualify themselves. You have nothing to lose except all your bad energy, bad luck, and misfortune. So this is a kind of guarantee. Click the shop now button, get yours, and experience some more abundant life today. Close with the emotional statement. And you can swipe this for any offer. Now, let me read you something that explains this idea of the one thing. Vague generalities versus meaningful specifics. The power of seemingly trivial details. The matter of believability. This is exactly like what this ad is doing. If you say that there are elephants flying in the sky, people are not going to believe you. But if you say that there are 425 elephants in the sky, people probably will believe you. Same thing with the rules and requirements. If you add these meaningful specifics and trivial details, people are going to believe it more. And if you go further, you say there are 427 elements, of which 213 are red, blue, and yellow, all flying north in the sky, people will almost certainly believe you. And if you say that a group of respected scientists from Switzerland had reported that there are 427 elephants, blah, blah, blah. People will believe you even more. So see how the specifics increase the believability, even if they are meaningless and trivial details. So the more details you add to the stories, even like details like the color of the wall, like if you narrate a nightmare story, the elements that make the story believable are actually the trivial details. So the color of the clothing, some like the fact that the other person was kind and had good mannerism, like things like this that you can learn to implement just by reading fiction, reading novels, and watching movies. Lust for and believe in the one thing. If I only had X, everything would be different. So people prefer believing and do believe that whatever unsatisfactory situation they are in, which this ad is playing, health, wealth, and relationship, all the benefits, it is the result of one lacking one particular thing. In this case, is positive energy. A supportive spouse, a father who loved them, a better childhood, a better education, contacts from having attendee, a better college, a better business partner, capital, bank loans, etc. Or is the result of one thing in the way, in this case, negative energies, an arch competitor, a bad location, Amazon, Walmart, a law, a rule. So this leaves them very vulnerable to being sold something by someone agreeing with them, agreeing that it's not their fault, but it's the bad energy and the bad karma, and sympathizing with them, being sold something, one thing that fills the gap or erases the obstacle. So example, like what big one thing ideas that are shared in like general culture. So people with a failing marriage, what do? They think, oh, let's have a child. Maybe the child is going to fix the relationship, when the actual solution would be fixing the causes of the relationship dysfunction. If you have a bad job, then the solution is to switch job. But the actual solution would be, new skills. Like, what is the reason why you're not performing as good as you are in your job? What is the reason you're not earning enough? People don't want to be confronted, and they don't want to do the other thing. So it is your responsibility to actually inspire them to like agree with their worldview. Now you can sell them something that actually helps them, but if you want to achieve maximum conversion, and if you want to help the most amount of people, sometimes you have to agree with their worldview and then move their existing beliefs into believing your product works for them. Or financial mess. People are in a financial mess, they have no money, so they are very gullible to get the rich opportunity or more credit, which is never the solution. Or people who are fat, they'll buy the magic diet pill or diet. All the biggest ClickBank offers, Mytolin, Alpilin, Liposem, Citrus, they all play around this idea. The pill is a one thing that fixes everything. You don't have to fix your diet. You can eat pasta, pizza, lasagna. You don't have to work out, and the pill is going to do everything for you while you sleep and you sit on the couch watching your favorite movie or Netflix series. That is what people want, the majority of them. And if you want to sell to the majority, you have to play into their existing beliefs. For example, this is a cool-looking advertorial using the one thing concept. It's selling a pill, Celergen Swiss Cell Therapy. Notice how it's Swiss. It's not like the Ohio cell therapy. It has no allure. But if it's Swiss, from Switzerland, interesting. Physicians and Olympic athletes discuss the personal benefits of in-home cell therapy and why everybody needs it. So notice how it's a pill, but they don't say, take this supplement. They reposition it as in-home cell therapy, which is an entirely new visual image, which has a higher perceived value if it is a cell therapy and not just a supplement. And notice how this fixes everything. So skin regeneration, stamina, energy and sleep, muscle ace and mental focus, energy and vitality. And all is like, this line is the same line that we found in the ad. They would ask if I had gotten a new haircut or hair coloring when I had done nothing at all except take Celergen. So the one thing that fixes everything. Same thing we found in the ad. So you don't have to do nothing. And it's literally word for word the same thing. All you need to do is wear it and let it do its magic. So no effort and sacrifice on your part. And here, yeah, it breaks down like how men and women are motivated by different things. This is a generalization, but if you sell to the masses, it's generally true. So female buy things to avoid pain and loss because they're more driven by getting safety and security, whether it's physical, emotional, or in the relationship, while men buy things to get pleasure and gain status. And so they are susceptible to being sold achievement, conquest, and status. We can go into this other stuff on another call. Now,